Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to be testing something mega, the Karcher K7 pressure washer. Now this is Karcher's top of the line domestic pressure washer, which features a pump with 180 bar max pressure and also includes a reel with a 10 metre high pressure flex hose. So first we're going to cover unboxing, see what's included, then put the pressure washer through its paces to see how it performs. So let's get to it. The front of the box shows a picture of the pressure washer, some of the main features of this machine, the parts that are included and the weight of the box. This side has pictures of the pressure washer in use and the main performance statistics here, which is the max pressure, water flow rate and the power of the pump. This side it looks like the box has been designed to also be stored horizontally on shelving just in case the gap between shelves is too small. And this side contains another picture of the pressure washer in use and then the specific model number on the label at the bottom. The box is secured using plastic tie straps and sellotape sealing the flaps. Inside the box is a leaflet reminding you to register the device for the extended 5-year warranty. This lid pulls out to reveal the pressure washer and must secure the top of the pressure washer during transit. There's a plastic sheet covering the pressure washer with the trigger gun slotted in behind it. There are instructions on the screen explaining how to connect it, which I'll look at later. I'll move the box onto the floor to make it easier to lift out the pressure washer. There's a compartment inside the box which stores the lance. The pressure washer is almost fully assembled. There's just the power cord netting and hose pipe connector in the bottom of the box, with the nozzle tucked away here. The K7 is wrapped in its signature yellow and black casing with the familiar shaped trigger gun. This has a slightly larger nozzle compared to other Karcher models and the instruction manuals were slotted in the cardboard tray lid. The power switch is rubber coated for grip and has a positive flick when switching from off to on and back again. The hose pipe inlet pipe contains a plastic gauze filter. You just need to attach the hose pipe connector by screwing it on clockwise and tightening by hand. According to the instructions, the black capsule on the elasticated cord is meant to sit at the bottom. However, there's a tab in the way, so I find it actually fits better with it at the top like this. Simply slot the cord between each tab until it is fully attached. Now as for the wheel design, I think Karcher have been having a little fun here. They've got written on the side of the tyre, tubeless. It is made of plastic, but it's definitely not holding any air. Karcher's method of storing the power cord behind the netting isn't the most elegant of solutions, but it does the job. Unfortunately, the opening into this space isn't big enough to insert it pre-coiled, so I find you just need to feed it in like this until you reach the end. The power cord is 5 meters long in length. There's a couple of elasticated straps binding the high pressure hose which need to be cut to release it. Now having the hose reel rear mounted with the hose pulled through the front of the machine looks like it might create an issue, but in practice it looks like it unwinds without binding. I'll test this more once I have it fully built and ready to use. Winding back in also appears to work well. Again, we'll test this more thoroughly once I have it set up. The handle has a locking mechanism once it is fully extended. You then give it a little tap to get it to retract again. If you don't lock it at the top, it will just slide back into the body. The trigger handle is smooth to hold and comfortable to press. It has a child lock on the handle to prevent accidental use. This SmartLine trigger gun has an LCD display showing the mode selected with buttons to increase or decrease the power of the pressure washer. The lance has 3 spray nozzles, flat jet, detergent and dirt grinder. Looking at the tip, the central nozzle is for the dirt grinder, the one to the left is detergent and the brass coloured nozzle at the bottom is flat jet. You twist the lance barrel to switch between modes with a positive click once each mode is selected. The external appearance of the tip doesn't appear to change. The lance connects to the trigger gun using the usual push and twist to lock mechanism. Satisfying peel noise. The small recessed button on the side of the trigger gun is to open the cover to access the batteries. It takes 2 AAA batteries which come included with the pressure washer. The high pressure hose connector has a couple of flat edges which you can see here. It comes covered in silicone grease to lubricate the connection and a rubber O-ring to create a watertight seal. Because of the flat edges on the connector, you might need to rotate the hose to get it to clip into the gun. Press the yellow button and pull out the hose to release it from the gun and lance. The nozzle isn't meant to fit in this hole whilst connected to the lance. Instead, you slot it into the bottom tray and then push it into the clip. This feels a little tight at the moment, but I assume it's only because it's new. Remember not to spray your wife or use it to clean your dog after a muddy walk. This is the docking port for Karcher's detergent bottles. They sell a car foam and universal cleaner along with cleaners specifically for stone, plastic and wood. And here is the pressure washer fully assembled, ready for use. Now, considering this is Karcher's top of the range domestic pressure washer, i.e. their most expensive, you don't even get a foam cannon included with it. I've therefore had to buy it separately for this review. The box confirms it is designed for all K2 to K7 pressure washers up to 180 bar max. This side shows how to use and adjust it. The rear of the box says it produces foam in virtually every language. And this side has an action shot of the foam cannon in use. The top of the box is sealed using a clear sellotape tab. Then inside the box, the foam cannon is fully assembled. The bottle stores 600ml of liquid, so these appear to be 100ml increments. The yellow dial on the top regulates pickup from minimum to maximum with a half turn. The lance tip rotates 360 degrees. This only rotates the fan spray and doesn't actually alter the shape of the fan. It has the usual Karcher push and twist connector on the end, and the lance head removes with a quarter turn anti-clockwise. The clear pickup tube is already attached to the head, and the bottle has a small fill-in neck which will make it more difficult to pour foam solution into. Now, before I show you how to commission the pressure washer for first use, let's first see how the handle and wheels work for manoeuvrability. I've holstered the gun with the handle facing backwards, which actually gets in the way of the handle, so I'll turn it around. That's better. With the handle extended and locked, a quick flick back onto the wheels enables it to move around with ease. The plastic wheels running over the sand and grit isn't a nice sound. Rubber coated wheels would give it a more premium feel. However, for the handful of metres it will travel each time it is used, this isn't really an issue. To prepare the pressure washer, first prime the hose pipe to reduce the amount of air within it. Now attach it to the inlet connector. Plug the electrical cable into a socket, or if you're using an extension lead, make sure it is appropriately rated and fully unwound. Don't forget to turn the water tap back on. To speed up this process, remove the lance from the gun and hold down the trigger until all of the air has been ejected from the pump and water is flowing constantly. The instructions actually state to fully unwind the high pressure hose reel to make sure there are no kinks that could block water flow. However, I fully unwound it earlier in the video whilst testing the reel, so I am confident this is not a concern. You can see it is taking a while to prime for the first time. This is why I recommend getting any air out of the hosepipe before connecting it, otherwise it would take even longer. There are spits and spats of water coming out, so it's nearly there. Now it has a constant dribble, power up the pressure washer to get the remaining air out. When it stops spitting and you have a constant spray, it's ready for use. Final test with the lance attached. All good. Now I'll connect the smart control lance to the pressure washer. The overlay sticker which I removed from the lance display explained that the pressure washer needs to be connected to power, then within 60 seconds hold both the plus and minus buttons for 3 seconds. So let's give that a go. And just like that, the lance is synchronised with the pressure washer. It looks like from factory it's set to 2.5 out of 3. It looks like you cannot select boost mode whilst it's flashing. Maybe you need to have it powered on to use that mode. Now you can also control this pressure washer using a phone. Whether you should control this pressure washer using a phone is another matter, but out of interest I'm going to find out. Open the App Store and search for Karcher. You need to install the Karcher Home and Garden app. Select your desired tracking preferences and privacy settings. Fortunately, Karcher doesn't force you to create an account, so I'm going to continue as a guest. Choose if you want to receive notifications. Select devices on the bottom tab bar navigation, then select Add Device. It uses Bluetooth to connect, so I'm tapping Detect Nearby Bluetooth Devices. Tap Next, then tap Search for nearby devices. Tap Allow so the app can communicate over Bluetooth. It didn't find the pressure washer when I'm stood right next to it, but this might be because it has now been over 60 seconds since I turned it on. I've switched off the machine, waited the recommended 10 seconds before switching it back on again, and the same thing happened. I'll try the scan QR code option instead. There's no QR on the pressure washer, and the QR on the display sticker just links to an online instruction manual, so I'm tapping manual selection. The part number is on the silver sticker where the power cord is stored. Once you've entered the part number, you next need to enter the serial number. Tap Confirm, then confirm it's the right device. Once added, it displays this registration pop-up. This is something you should do, but I'm not going to do it now. It's already assembled, so I'll tap that. Now tap Pair. These instructions state you need to do it within 60 seconds of connecting it to power, so I'll turn it off, leave it 10 seconds, then turn it back on again. It's suggesting to pair the lance again, so I'll hold down 2 buttons. Once the lance screen resets, tap Confirm and Pair Device. Oh, the failed screen has popped up again. I'll try that one more time. Yes, this time the phone is detecting a pairing request. Tap Pair. And now we're connected. When you select the pressure washer, it shows you the supplied accessories with a gun control button. This shows the same options as the lance gun, so there doesn't appear to be any additional benefit to using an app. So at least now we know. Now let's get on with the testing. I'll start with the flat jet, which is the go-to nozzle for most jobs. This is the nozzle it uses on the lance. I'm starting off using half, which is the lowest setting, and it's using about 1250 watts. Level 1 is around 1450 watts. .5 is 1800 watts. Two is around 2000 watts. 2.5 is just over 2100 watts. 3 jumps up to 2600 watts. And boost mode goes up to just over 2700 watts. The next nozzle to test is dirt grinder mode, which uses the central nozzle. Level 0.5 is 1200 watts. Level 1 is 1450 watts. 1.5 is 1800 watts. Level 2 is 2000 watts. .5 is 2100 watts. Level 3 is nearly 2600 watts. And boost mode is around 2670 watts. The last nozzle to test on the Lance is the mix mode. This is primarily designed for detergent pickup mixed with water. Level 1 uses 1000 watts. Level 2 uses just over 900 watts. And level 3 uses 800 watts. Finally, the snow foam cannon. 0.5 uses 1050 watts. Level 1 uses 1200 watts. 1.5 uses just over 1400 watts. 2 uses 1550 watts. 2.5 uses just over 1600 watts. Three uses around 1870 watts. And boost mode is just over 1900 watts. One thing to bear in mind when using boost mode is that when you come off boost, you need to wait 30 seconds before it will let you use it again. You cannot select boost mode whilst it's flashing. The pressure washer, whilst plugged in and not in use, is consuming 0.7 watts on standby. With no nozzle attached to the trigger gun, it uses 1050 watts. I'm going to test the foam cannon using Built Hamber Touchless, which uses a panel impact ratio, or PIR, to get the exact amount of snow foam solution required, specific to the pressure washer and snow foam cannon being used. You first need to fill it to max with water. Next, ensure the flow rate is set to maximum pickup, then empty into a bucket until the foam cannon bottle is empty. That took 1 minute 20 seconds to empty the bottle. In total, it dispensed 10.3 litres. This looks very cloudy from all the tiny air bubbles, which is good. Dry with blue skies 1 minute, then grey and pouring it down the next. No second guesses needed for which month I'm currently filming in. 10.3 litres was dispensed. Multiply this by 1,000 to get the value in millilitres. 10,300 multiplied by Built Hamber's 2% PAR equals 206, so I need to add 206 ml of snow foam solution to the bottle, topped up with 394 ml of water. The first thing you do every time you use a snow foam cannon is fill it up with solution. This is where a narrow filling neck makes it nearly impossible to fill without the use of a funnel. Well thought out foam cannons have wider necks to make filling faster without being dependent on additional equipment. With the snow foam solution added, top up the rest of the bottle with water. Try filling it slowly to reduce foaming before you've started. With the lance head attached, give it a good shake to mix it up. You can see here with the high pressure hose primed ready, this still unwinds with minimal effort. You can also see the high pressure hose is uncoiling, making it really easy to wind back in. Something to note when you wind the hose back in, it's best to wind it anti-clockwise, otherwise you'll kink the hose near to where it attaches to the reel. With the hose fully extended and the unit near the back corner of the car, I can easily get all the way around the car without having to move it. Now let's see how the foam cannon performs. Apologies for the exposure in this clip. The camera was using the wrong ISO setting, which makes the snow foam look really white and thick. The next clip shows what it actually looks like. This is going on okay. It's not as thick as what MJJC or auto glue foam cannons can achieve that I've previously tested on my channel, but for a £15 foam cannon, it's adequate. I'm going over it a second time to use what's left in the bottle and to recover areas which no longer have foam on them. Because the foam is runny, it's reducing how much time the solution has to dwell on the paintwork and remove contaminants. Once you've finished with the foam cannon, remember to rinse it out. Disconnect the bottle and wash it out with clean water, then with the lance head still attached to the trigger gun, let it pull water through the pickup hose to clean out the pipe and lance head like so. Now I'll test the lance at removing snow foam and dirt still left on the car. This is using the flat jet mode, which looks to be the right amount of pressure to ensure it cleans without damaging the paintwork. You can see the hose isn't coiling in the slightest, which is amazing. The last thing you want is the hose coiling as you move around and it rubbing grit against the paintwork. This is doing a really good job. No complaints here. The length of Karcher lances has always been on the long side, but you can buy an aftermarket short trigger gun that connects to Karcher high pressure hoses if you prefer something shorter. Once you have finished with the pressure washer, remember to discharge it so you're not storing it pressurised for a long period of time. Switch the power button off, then turn off the water supply. Disconnect the hose and pull the trigger gun to release what's left in the system. And that's all there is to it, and these quick steps will ensure the pressure washer lasts much longer without any issues. The hose retracts easily and quickly. This is definitely the best and most useful feature of this pressure washer. Finally, I'm going to test the dirt grinder nozzle on cleaning these patio slabs. You can see they are very dirty after winter and are in need of a good clean. I'll first move the plant pots out of the way. Wow, this is making light work of cleaning these slabs. I don't need to get really close and it's removing dirt quickly. I could have the whole path cleaned in no time at this rate. Although this isn't a true timed task, I'll see how long it takes to clean the equivalent area of 4 slabs. That was just over 26 seconds. Out of interest, I'm going to try my old Karcher turbo nozzle, which came with my K4, to see how this nozzle compares. This sounds a slightly higher pitch, so I imagine it is using a higher pressure. Again, this is also doing a great job and looks to be cleaning slightly faster than the dirt grinder nozzle. That was about 5 seconds quicker. I'll have to do a better comparison in a future video. The soil from where the pots sit has stained the patio slab, so the pressure washer isn't going to be able to remove that. And now that the slabs are dry, you can see how much cleaner they look. To conclude, this pressure washer is amazing. It feels well built, and the best feature of it is definitely the hose reel. It makes it so easy to retract the hose when you get it out to use it, and likewise when you're packing it away. You don't need to faff around trying to wrap it around the body of the machine. The hose also works really well. It's very flexible and doesn't coil, which is vital when you're working around the car. 10 metres is plenty long enough to clean all sides without having to move the pressure washer during use. It's powerful and makes light work of cleaning surfaces, and the smart control lance makes it easy to change power modes to suit the surface you're cleaning. The multi-nozzle lance is also handy. It doesn't really make any difference when cleaning the car, but when you're cleaning patios and driveways, it means you can swap from the dirt grinder nozzle to flat spray and rinse away the dirt without having to change lances. There's little to assemble when you first buy it, so you're up and running in minutes. The app connectivity element of this pressure washer is okay. I had a few issues trying to connect it to the pressure washer, but realistically it doesn't offer anything over what the lance gun can do. The only time I'd use this app would be if I was using an aftermarket short trigger gun and needed to change the power settings. I think for the flagship model in Karcher's range, it should really include a snow foam cannon, especially when the retail cost is only £15. The one I bought for this review performed okay, but you can spend a little more and get much better results. As for price, this pressure washer is usually around £500. However, it's currently on sale for just over £400 because it has been replaced with a newer design in 2026. The newer version does look cool, but from what I can tell so far, it has the same performance figures as the one I'm testing, so if you're thinking of buying one of these, now's the time to buy it. Well, I hope you found this video useful. If you've got any questions which I didn't answer, please let me know in the comments and I'll respond as soon as I can. Also, please give the video a thumbs up. It really helps me to make more videos like this in the future. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.